Well done, Sophie. Today I actually think the first time you've actually been under control and the horse has stayed at a consistent pace through the lesson, not that it started off under control and got less and less out of control as the lesson's gone on. Now what we're looking for is to keep the consistency and keep that you can run a nice shape round the course of fences, not that you're cutting the corner and get yourself out of line. If you notice when we're doing this first exercise, we've got two nice little loops at each end and you're meant to be going across the centre line to change the leg. But when you go across the centre line, you want a dead straight line. Then when you make the turn back, if I had a felt tip and I drew a line from the centre of each pole up to the end of the school, you should be able to turn the corner and go straight onto the centre line, not that you end up missing the centre line and then bulging back onto the line. When linking the jumps together, the first few cross poles, the pace was very, very good and it stayed the same all the time. If you notice that this pace that you take the first cross pole at should be the pace you jump the last vertical at. When we jump the cross poles off the right rein, there's a clear example there of what the canter pace should be like, because you jump the first cross pole the same speed as what you jump the last cross pole. When we turned it around and we were coming off the left rein, it started to get a little bit quicker. But when you jumped the vertical and came through the two poles to the spread, that was a good example of the pace where we want it to be, because it was exactly the same pace from one end of the arena to the other end. So overall, very well done. Well done today, Casey. The horse is going very well, and it also looks $1 million. What you need to do now, you've grown in confidence through the year. You now need to get more confidence at riding at a pace like you would be if you're going around the arena. What you tend to do is you tend to go backwards quite a lot, which then puts a lot of pressure on the horse. You'll be okay when you're jumping sort of 80 and 90 centimetres, but when you start jumping a metre, metre 5, you need this horse to be going a little bit quicker, so then when it gets to the jump and it has to make a big effort, it's not actually making as bigger effort as you think, because the horse is going at a quicker pace. So in your pole work, just because you're working over poles, make sure you start moving at a quicker pace so you're getting confident at going somewhere around the arena, not that you're just going up and down on the spot. When we start jumping, the jump was very, very good. What you got to remember when the jumps went bigger and you're coming through your turns, just make sure your reins are short and you keep your shoulders up through your turn with your heel on and your lower leg on. What you tend to do now and again, I'm not saying you do it all the time, but just now and again as you come through your turns or through your loops, you end up leaning forwards a little bit, which then puts you out of position. And when you're leaning forwards, that means your leg's not on. You need to be sitting up tall with leg on, so when you get to the takeoff point, you've got as much power into your pony as you possibly can. But overall, very well done. Well done today, Amy. If there was an award this year for the Pony of the Year, this pony would get it. It's improved no end this year, and your confidence has grown no end this year. What we now need to do is make sure those turns are as soft and as supple as you possibly can. Not that sometimes you end up losing your balance and pulling back on his mouth, which then brings the horse's head up and makes the stride deteriorate. What we're looking for you to do is keep your same position, because you've quite often got a nice position. So you keep the same position with your shoulders up and your hands nice and soft, with the canter stride staying nice and consistent all the time. When we started jumping today, the jump was very, very good. Just remember, moving on in our education, that we now need the horse to get supple through its turns, so when you do the jump offs are as good as the first round. To achieve this, when you're linking your jumps together through your loops, later on in the training session, we want that to be nice and smooth, nice and fluent. So you sit up round your corners, you keep your hands soft. Yes, you ride in balance and you've got control, but you don't keep pulling back. Your hands are as soft as possible. But overall, very well done.